Welcome to Hey Therapist. I'm your host, Leslie Ross. With me is my producer, Jay Wesley Lindley. Let's get mental. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hey Therapist.
We are back.
We are back, and today we are going to talk about a book that Riley has found. Tell us about this book. What is it? Who wrote it?
So this book it's called 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. It's by Brianna Wiest. It was gifted to me by a very dear friend on New Year's Eve. And when she first handed it to me, her and I are very much on the kind of the same mental health journey. We also have struggled with dating and relationships and all of those things. And she said, Riley, I buy these books in bulk. She said, and I give them out to people that are special to me. And she said,
Okay.
The reason why is she said, it truly does change the way that you think. And I want you to read it. She said, I think that you would really enjoy this. It took me a little bit to pick it up. And then I just went on a kind of a retreat with one of my close friends on my birthday weekend. And I spent a lot of time reading and just all those things, which I'd previously already started the book, actually the week prior to that. But I could not put this book down. I really dug really deep when we were out there in the middle of the desert because it was just so healing and relaxing. And I just spent a lot of time.
It looked gorgeous. It was, by the way,
unbelievable. If you guys don't follow me on social media, there's some pictures you can look at of that area. And it was absolutely worth the drive. It was like the longest drive of our entire life. We could have drove to Florida for the day that we spent driving across the state of Texas. Honestly, if you guys have never done something like that, we did an off-the-grid camping trip, and it was truly healing. Definitely healing for my soul at the time and my mind, and gave me some rest and things like that I really, really needed. Because this year started off with a bang, which is great, but I definitely needed some me time.
Sure.
Especially as I'm embarking on my 38th year of life. Yay. So, but there is a particular chapter of the book that really stood out to me that was pretty life-changing. And I have not asked Leslie these questions. So these are going to be coming in very real and not rehearsed, which we don't rehearse anything, quite honestly.
No, we really don't. This is as much prep as there is. A few little notes taken.
We really don't prep that often, which when we start getting paid millions, we'll probably have a better script.
We'll have someone to prep for us.
But right now, it's just us living our best life. This particular chapter is questions that will show you who you are and what you're meant to do.
Okay.
And there's actually 16. We're going to get as far into these questions as we possibly can with, obviously there's going to be discussion around these questions, I hope. And then some, I do feel like that some of these questions could leave us both going,
pass.
Definitely have to think about that. Because some of them literally hit me so hard that I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I don't know who I am. This is really going to show me who I am. Yeah. So, but I'm going to start and then we both can discuss where we want to discuss and then go on from there.
Let's get it.
Number one, what and who is worth suffering for?
Ooh, that is number one?
Number one.
They get harder? And I want to say, share your answers with us too.
Yes, absolutely.
Jump on the website. You can fill out the form there, email us, whatever. hey@heytherapist.com. What or who is worth suffering for? So for me, I think my family. I would suffer whatever I need to for the family. My own happiness. I will suffer for my own happiness. And with that, I mean, when it comes to relationships, and I'm talking romantic and friend, sometimes you have to let go of things that don't serve you anymore, of people that don't serve you anymore. You can still very much love someone and know that they are not healthy in your life, but by letting go of them, it can really, really hurt. I've had relationships end where it devastated me, but I knew it was the best thing. And so I'm willing to suffer through that. I'm not going to go jump into another relationship. I'm not going to put that off on another friend. I'm not going to go into addictions type behaviors. I will suffer through and feel that, because I think sometimes suffering when needed, because I think some people suffer when they don't need to be suffering, when sometimes it's an easy fix. But I think suffering when needed teaches you to appreciate the good, and it teaches you to understand yourself better. Why am I suffering? Why does this hurt so much? What do I need in my life? What do I need to change? What thought processes do I need to work on?
Yeah.
Or is this something that I just need to suffer through and just get to the other side of it? So, I mean, I think you have to walk through that tent. And sometimes the tent is a house of horrors, but you got to walk through it to get out the other side.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. This question hit me pretty hard because I immediately, my first thought is always family. And I, of course, like growing up in a religious home, I thought immediately of Jesus. Like he suffered and died for all of us. Like, I mean, like he literally suffered for a world that didn't love him and he didn't know him and didn't know, so I was like, wow, like that's a very deep question to really have to ask yourself, because what level of suffering are we talking about? Are we talking like physical suffering? Are we talking about emotional suffering? Are we talking about like, so it's kind of like at what level of suffering? And then I was like, honestly, I would suffer for myself to learn humility, to be able to put myself into the position that I'm in right now. And I've had to actually suffer. And I'm glad that I didn't find a way out of that suffering. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of like what and who I would suffer for is myself. And I don't want that to come across like as a self-absorbed type of answer. It's not even really that. It's more or less like I would do it again if it meant me being a better human. Yeah. Because me being a better human has also allowed me to be a better person and a better son, a better coworker, a better, just all in general. Yeah. So I took it as that from that perspective of I would do it again for myself. Yeah. But would I suffer for someone else? I do. There's certain people that I would take a bullet for. There truly is. And then there's some people that I would absolutely not. But anyways,
suffering versus avoidance. I think is
exactly. But it's like, what level of like suffering are we talking about? You know what I mean? So like, I was like, that's a very deep, deep question. But I do love your answer on that because it's very similar. You went into a lot more in depth about it. It's like the level of humility, guidance that you learn through suffering. Yeah, is unbelievable. Which we've kind of talked about this before, but we've never like deep dove into my situation in Denver, and it was one of the most terrible. I mean, it truly was. I'm glad I went. There's a lot of good I'm able to find from that, but I truly suffered, and it was one of the worst. I wouldn't ask anyone to have gone through some of the things that I experienced, and it was a very, very mental suffering, and I'm so glad that I did though. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you
can learn so much about yourself through how you handle it.
Well, I mean, I feel like it was like everything truly does happen for a reason. And I do kind of despise that saying, but it truly does happen for a reason, because now I'm on a podcast and I'm able to, I mean, I think back, I'm like, would I have been in the place a year or two ago to be able to do what I do now? No, I would not. So I'm very grateful for this. I'm grateful for the suffering because it led me to where I am today. So moving on. Number 2, what would you stand for if you knew that nobody would ever judge you?
Gosh, what would I stand for if I knew? I feel like I stand for everything regardless that it's important to me now. Like I
agree with that.
Like I don't want to say that I'm always right fighting and I always do the right thing and say the right thing, because Lord knows I do not. But I feel like I'm pretty open and public with who I support, what I stand for. I don't have anything that I wouldn't say publicly. I don't have anything that I wouldn't support friends in that I agree with and stand for. I mean, there's some things that I'm not going to stand up for you because I don't really agree with what you're doing. I say that. We do edit some of our conversation for the podcast. There's a lot of things at this point we don't say out loud just because it is a little unsafe and we are still growing and trying to establish our footing to not offend. I don't want to offend anyone ever, but I'm going to stand for what I stand for. And there's been times where, because we don't talk a lot about politics, we don't talk a lot about our religion, we don't do, just because it's not important yet. We haven't gotten to a place where it really has been super important to discuss. But I think everyone knows where I stand on those things that are in my life. I don't think what's going on in the world right now is okay. I don't think a lot of people that are calling themselves Christians are truly Christians. I don't think a lot of the people that are calling themselves Americans are acting very American. But I say that out loud all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there's anything that I stand for in quiet that I wouldn't stand for it out loud.
Yeah. That question hit me pretty hard because of there's still people know where I stand when it comes to you are around me on a personal level. You're my client.
Yeah.
You know where I stand. You're my friend. You know where I stand. And that is in all levels of my life. Politics, religion-based, just life in general. You know that I'm going to be very upfront with you. I do feel like that I hold myself back when it comes to being on social media.
Yes.
And it comes to being on this podcast. And we do filter out a lot of things. And I do feel like that if I could change anything and if I could stand without anyone judging me, I would stand fully in that. I would be more progressive in my stand on social media. And I would make it very well known. And I don't. And it scares me. And I'm just being very honest and transparent because we are in a very, very weird time in the world right now I do live in a rural area. I live in an area that is very, very conservative. And if I was to do that, I don't know what it would do.
Right.
Am I scared of losing my clients? Am I scared of... No, I'm not. It's not that. I'm scared of my life. I'm scared of the people around me, of what could actually come of that if I started very, very loudly vocalizing on my platforms. If I was not to be judged for that or be persecuted for that, yes, I would be a lot more loud about it because I have a very, very, very strong opinion about what's going on in the United States right now.
Yes.
And it is disgusting and disheartening. And I would love to be a lot more open about that and be a lot more forthcoming about where I stand in the LGBTQIA platform. And
just keeps getting longer.
It does keep getting longer. I don't even know where to stop.
I know, I feel it.
But I would like to be a little bit more vocal in that.
Yeah.
But it is very scary for us right now.
It is. And
so it's not about me not supporting my own livelihood. I don't want that to come across wrong because that is where things can get very murky.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to be murky. I want to be very upfront and tell everyone, you know, like, this is where I stand, but there are a lot of things I want to share I almost shared it the other day. I mean, I had it all typed out and ready to go, and I had to backspace and delete because I was like, I know what this is going to do. If I share this on my Instagram, because I don't have Facebook anymore, but if I share this on my Instagram story in support of this, mentally, I'm ready to have a conversation with people that have a rebuttal for this, but I don't think they're ready.
No.
And that's where I'm at.
And they're not going to listen. And that's
You're
the
not,
other thing.
Because I will tell y'all right now, look, one thing about me, I'm going to come to the table with my I's dotted and my T's crossed. I'm not going to share something. I'm not going to say something that is not factual and it comes with fact-based situations. I'm not that person. Was I that person? Yes, I did not do my research. But as I've gotten older and progressed in my life, do my research. And I'm not going to be spewing things that is not factual.
Right.
And I don't think people are ready for that side of me. If this podcast and when this podcast gets to that point, I hope that we're able to really stand on a stronger platform and be able to really have a voice for some people that are not able to truly have that voice.
Right.
But we're not there yet. And just like you said, we're not there. And we do have to be careful with what we say. And we're trying not to get canceled before we even got started. And I don't want that to even, because some people can even look at that from a different perspective and be like, well, that means y'all are not being true to no, we are being true to ourselves. Y'all have to understand we truly do have to protect ourselves still.
And we both have careers and jobs and people, and
we don't have private security right now either.
We are not at that level for sure.
I'm sorry, we don't. I mean, and these people that are standing on strong, like Joe Rogan, or even I've had a podcast with like Jen and Pumps, they have help. They have people to protect them. We do not
And
have
they didn't
that.
start that way.
They didn't start that way. They were funny. You listen back to they did not have this political platform. Not that we want to turn this into a political platform. That's not what we're saying. But for us to be able to say what we need to say, we don't have that help. We don't have a PR team that says,
yeah, legal says don't do that.
Legal, we don't, you know what I mean? So at that point, we're hoping one day, sorry guys. We're hoping one day to have that legal team that can help protect us, but we don't have that at this moment. So we do have to be a little bit.
Yeah. And I think the other thing with not taking a stance, because there's plenty of things that I don't share on my socials either. And it's not because I don't believe them or know that they're true, because I also have done my research. I'm not going to argue with people. I'm not going to post something that I know is factual and true and the way I feel about it, and have people that are close to me, because they have different beliefs, which is okay on some things. Sometimes I have removed people and they're not close to me anymore because of what they have said lately.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
what's going on. Like, if you truly believe that, there's no world where we can be connected, because this is absolutely not okay. But I'm not going to argue with you in my comment section. I'm going to delete your comment, and then you're going to say something about me deleting your comment, and I'm going to say yes, because that's not why I posted this. And I do not have the mental energy to do that right now. The world is a shitty, scary place. And yes, take your stances, do it safely. I have a dear friend, used to be a coworker, who's living up in Minnesota, where all of these things are happening. Like, it's happening right down the street from where she lives, and she wants to get out and help, and she wants to go do things. And she is a white woman, which should, in the world where it used to be, it should make you safer, is the sad part, but it doesn't anymore. No. And she's scared for her life, and she wants to go help, but she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know how to help. So, she called me the other day. We brainstormed on some things that she could do that would protect her job, because her job has said, you cannot be seen out here protesting. You cannot be seen out here doing these things. And so, we came up with some ideas on how she could go help and do things. And I think that's what it's about, is the helpers in the background. And that's where I'm at. I'm a helper in the background. I am doing what I can to not put myself, in a position, like Riley said, to put ourselves in a position of danger or whatever, because we do live in an area where people know us, and it's a small town, and there's some very strong, very wrong beliefs, moral beliefs that are happening right now. So yeah, I think I do stand. If you know me, you know where I stand. Yeah. So there's no question. Yeah. Am I as vocal as I want to be about it? No, but it's not because I'm afraid of people, falling off, or them not liking me about it or whatever. I could give a shit if you don't like me about the way I believe. Keep it moving, because there's plenty of people that do, but I just don't want to deal with that, because I have to protect my mental energy. I have to protect myself. I'm not going to argue in a comment section. No, it's not going to happen.
Me either. I'm not going to argue with ignorance.
No, absolutely not.
No. Okay. Number 3, what would you do if you knew that nobody would judge you? Not what would you do?
I knew nobody would judge me. Oh.
I immediately thought of something that I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that was the first thing that popped in my head. So I knew.
It's dirty.
It's nasty.
Thanks.
What's the first
talk about on here?
No, you have to. What's the first thing that pops in your brain?
Oh.
I said, what would you do if nobody would judge you? I'm not saying that, like, who cares? Like,
honestly,
you'd be a stripper, wouldn't you?
I would totally be a stripper. I would totally have an OnlyFans.
Me too. That's exactly in my brain. I would be an OnlyFans. I would straight up. I don't care what anyone thinks. I'd be a porn star.
Care. I would sell I don't know if I could be a porn star. I could be
a porn star.
I don't think I could let people touch me. Like, that's why I would have to have an OnlyFans or something, because people ick me out. Like,
I don't know.
People are gross.
Gay people we're just different. We kind of throw it to the wind sometimes.
Well, straight people do too.
That's true.
Which is why it scares me. Short background story about a different time of my life. I actually bartended at a strip club for a long time. And just bartended. Let me make that real. If you knew me when I worked there, I just bartended. And I saw a lot of the things that happened in the strip club. And I'm thinking, my God. Like, and I would talk to the girls and be like, oh, when you were given that stinky gross guy in his track pants with no underwear, because obviously, like, what? And they're like, well, I'm thinking about my shopping list, and I'm thinking about, they just are so disconnected from it. And that's what all sex workers do, right? That's what I've learned over my year of having clients who are sex workers and all of those things. But I would totally just sell feet pics or be, I always joke that I don't have an OnlyFans now because I have too many tattoos. Like, I don't want the nephews like rolling up on Auntie's OnlyFans, like, but if I can make the money that way, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I am firm in my sexuality. I am freaking hot for my age. Yeah. I have no shame when it comes to that. Like, so I would totally quit everything and just sell sex and make some money as long as I could and invest well and hopefully not have to ever work a real job again.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I would, quit my job and run off to another country and sell sunglasses on a beach. Yeah. And just like, but I feel like there's judgment for that too. If that's, so yeah, I mean, that's the first thing that I would totally just.
Yeah, same. That's the first thing that popped in my brain. I would
OnlyFans it up.
I would OnlyFans and.
Here's my Snapchat private story. Here's my Venmo. Yep, like, same, whatever.
Same. I would do that too. And then if no one would like fully judge me, I would definitely like hang up the hair, hang up the interior design.
Sure.
And I would be just an old man florist. I fucking love it. That's kind of like one of my dreams. But people would be like, what the hell is he doing? Yeah. Other than that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just throwing the life away that we're supposed to have, quote unquote, the expectations that we put on ourselves and society puts on us, and doing whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it. Like, I think of the traveling gypsy lifestyle, and that's so appealing to me, but also I like my stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Same. Based on your daily routines, where will you be in 5 years, 10, and 20?
Oh, see, I don't like these questions.
I like them. It makes me think. This one in particular, because I think I do believe in goals. Yeah. I want to have goals, but it's like when you go to interview, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't fucking know, because 5 years ago I was a hot mess, or 5 years ago I was just getting my shit, or 5 years ago I was really together, and then XYZ happened and it threw my life into a turmoil. Mm-hmm. So where I see myself in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, I mean, if you were goal oriented, where would you see yourself though in 5 years?
Well, we would be rich and syndicated. Mm-hmm. I would have my own hair team, and I would be fit because I would be able to afford a lifestyle that I want to afford. I would be able to have a personal trainer and a nutritionist and someone to tell me what to do, because I need someone to tell me what to do. Independent as I like to be, I still need someone to tell me what to do when it comes to being healthy and things. So yeah, I mean, I just want to be, you know what? I don't even know if I need to be rich.
Yes,
would I love to be rich? Absolutely.
Everyone needs to be rich. Let's just be real.
I want to be rich.
Yeah.
But I also think I would be okay if I just didn't have to worry. I could go on the vacations I want to go on, which really aren't that extravagant. I could travel when I want to travel. I could do the things I want to do without money stressors. Yeah. Like, and I don't know that I would have to be like super wealthy to do that, because I'm though I like nice things, I'm pretty simple otherwise. So I think it wouldn't take a whole lot of money to keep me pretty happy. But I don't want to have to worry about money. I don't want to have to worry about insurance and all of these things. I don't want to have to worry about leaving my home and being shot. I don't like that. Would be great. So for me, those questions always are, because I think it's good to have goals. It's good to have a plan. I want to manifest things into being. I want to have these beliefs that I'm going to be successful, because I will be. I want to know that. What's that going to look like in 5 years? I don't know. I mean, 5 years ago, I would have never thought I'd be living back in Broken Bow. Yeah. Because I've only been here, I guess this will be my fourth, I started this, on my memories, it popped up yesterday or the day before. This past weekend would have been the weekend that I moved back to Broken Bow 4 years ago. Yeah. If you'd asked me 5 years ago, I would have been like, no, absolutely not. Yeah. I would never move back home. And here I am. Yeah. And it's almost been 5 years, right? If you look at it. So yeah, I don't really go with those questions, because I'm very much, the universe puts me where I'm supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And I don't know where that's going to be in 5 years. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what 10 years looks like. I mean, 20 years, I'll be 70 years old. I don't know where I'll be when I'm 70. My gosh. Just the thought of that stresses me out. So, I mean, I know what I want for my life. I want to be settled. I want to be loved. I want to have a partner. I want to have a career that I'm happy doing most days.
Yeah.
What does that look like? I don't know.
Yeah. I know for me, like, is it the main thing I think it like triggered me to think of is because when she asked this question in the book, it says based on your daily routines, where we would be in 5 years. And I started thinking about it and I'm like, right now, because there's so much happening in my life, like with my current daily routines in 5 years, I could see myself in some kind of design magazine. I could see this podcast being syndicated, like you said, us being on a different level. I can see in 5 years not ever touching hair again. And not because I don't want to, it's just because something's going to have to give at some point,
sure.
you know? And that would be the one thing, because this is I'm rolling into like year 19 now. And so based on my current daily routine, that's where it's headed. Now, I am much in the same with you on that. Like, I never would have saw myself back in Paris. I never would have saw, like, my life has taken a massive turn that's hard to look this far in advance. But when I start thinking of it right now based on my current daily routine, if my daily routine changed and I started doing things differently, it may not be that.
Right.
I don't know. So I think for me, like, if I was to maybe fine tune my daily routines, it could even be better.
Yeah.
And then that 5 year, 10 year, 20-year plan would look differently. But it's really hard for me to think that. I have always been a 5 year, 10-year goal plan guy up until probably like last 3 years. A lot of that did change for me. And a lot of it was because of therapy. It really started making me recourse.
Sure.
I was very good at hitting those 5 year plans and those 10-year plans because I didn't give a shit about anyone else, which was so unhealthy at those moments. So of course I was able to hit those goals because I stepped on everyone to get there. But now that like I said, my brain is like recoursed and into different thinking, it's really hard for me. Like, just with you in the same, like, it's really hard to think that far out because I never would have saw my life where it's at right now.
Right. Ever.
Never in a million years did I think that we would be doing what we're doing in our design business at this moment. Like, literally secured another contract yesterday. Yay for us on that. But like, it's just like never saw these things happening so quickly. So I don't know. I mean, I hope to God that we're in Architectural Digest one day. And that could be at my 20 year when I'm 58.
Right.
Which would totally cool, whatever, you know, and when I'm 58 and you're 70 and we're still rocking and rolling and doing our podcast and we're both hippies in Beverly Hills.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm totally here for it. You know what I mean? But I don't know what that looks like.
And I think that question, you know, if anything, I think it sparks the reminder of our daily habits create our future.
Yes.
You know, so if you hear that question and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think she's trying to get you to make.
Yeah.
It's more of that daily routine.
Start changing your daily routine. And with that, healthy habits start at a moments level, not hours, not days, not any of that. You know, wake up a little early, go for a walk, even if it's just 5 minutes, walk around your office a little bit more, drinking more water, showering or bathing daily is, you know, a good habit to have. And if you're in a certain mindset, you're not doing that. You know, it's really about, like, that question for me just sparks what are your good daily habits? And if you don't have any, if you're thinking, well, right now I don't even hardly get out of bed and I eat like crap, and gosh, in 5 years, if I keep doing that, I'm not going to be in good health. Okay.
Then start there.
Then start there. You know, if it's, I really want to read more and I'm just not, and my daily habit doesn't, okay, then read more. Put your phone down.
Yeah.
Get off the TV. whatever it is, read more. Even if it's short stories, you can find a lot of things just on the internet, little short stories, little blurbs. Find a newspaper that you enjoy, or something that is entertainment that you enjoy, and read that. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to sit down and read this book, and if I can't read this book, then I'm going to be disappointing myself. No. Find a book of short stories. Find an old book of fairy tales and read just something that you can say, oh, I read that today. I read a whole chapter today. I read this whole book, this little short story book, whatever it is. It's about getting those little habits going, and then they become routine, and then it becomes a lifestyle, because what we do every day is our lifestyle. And if you don't like it, change it. And if you can't change it all, don't try, because you can't. And if you do, you're going to disappoint yourself.
Yeah.
If you're like, tomorrow I'm waking up, kind of like we talked about with resolutions, all the things. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to eat good meals all day. And I'm going to wake up to an exercise, or I'm going to exercise as soon as I get off work. And I'm going to go to bed early, and I'm going to have all these good habits all of a sudden in one day, when you haven't done any of those things in a very long time, or maybe even ever. Then you're just going to be like, well, yeah, I couldn't do it. I disappointed myself. Here I am. And you're beating yourself up for something that was unrealistic to start with.
Yeah.
So it really is just about thinking, okay, my daily habits, they aren't great. Okay, what can I change immediately? What can I defer down the road? What can I ask for help in? Whatever it is. But that's where, I think the question is probably trying to get you to look at. And you may not know what 5, 10, 20 years looks like, but you can know what tomorrow looks like.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't look like it, if something happens and it turns out it doesn't look like you thought it would, okay, there's always the next day.
Absolutely. Start over. Number 5, whom do you admire most and why? My sister, my older sister, Dusty.
Okay.
Mainly, Dusty there's so much admiration for her. She is probably one of the strongest people I know, the kindest person I know, the kindest soul. So my why is her kindness exudes in all situations. I've seen her through battles, and her kindness still comes out. I've seen her through horrible, horrible family situations. I've seen her through, she's 10 years older than me. I grew up obviously as her brother, but I almost felt like she was a mom figure to me a lot of times.
Of course, with that much difference.
Yeah. So being able to grow up watching her and never remembering her ever being hateful. And not seeing a bad spirit come from her, or of course, we've both had bad reactions to things. She's not a perfect person,
right? But
I admire so many things in her, and her ability to, no matter what, she chooses kindness. And I think one of the most kind things that I seen her do was, I had an uncle, it was years ago, that it was my dad's brother, that he came out, and he never felt comfortable telling our family until his mom and dad had passed away. So my grandmother and my grandfather had both passed. And he waited years and years and years and years. He was married for 7 years to a man before he told our family.
Wow.
He calls my sister. We were having Christmas that year at my sister and brother-in-law's house. And our family's huge. There's over 70 people usually that show up to that Christmas. My sister and myself were the ones hosting that year. And we were doing an ugly sweater party and just had all these games. So we send out formal invites to everyone. And it was really, really cool. But he called and he said, Dusty, I have a question. Is it okay if I come to Christmas? And she was like, of course. Why would you not come to Christmas? She said, and he said, well, I was just wondering if it was okay if I brought my husband. She said, yes, of course that's okay. But John, when did you get married?
Right. Why do we not know this? Well, we're not concerned about the part that it's a husband. Why do we not know?
And he was like, well, I just have never felt, I just didn't know if you guys would accept me. And it just but I'm ready for you guys to meet him. And she called me. I was actually living in Texarkana at the time. It's been years and years ago. And I remember my phone ringing. It was 7 a.m. I thought someone had died.
Sure.
And she was like, I need to talk to you right now. And I was like, what? And she goes, Uncle John called me. And I was like, what happened? And she was like, nothing, but he just called and asked me if it was okay if he brought his husband to Christmas. And I said, what? And of course I was shocked. And she was like, yeah. And I said, well, what'd you say? And she said, I told him, of course, we love you regardless. And if you love him, then we'll love him. you're of course accepted into our home. And at that moment, it made me go, okay, like no matter how much indoctrination we have, no matter how much, like you guys are youth pastors and at a Baptist church. And the fact that you can just, like you have so much love and kindness. And I remember her going to my mom, and my mom flipped out about the situation. My sister reminded her very quickly that no matter what, we are to choose love. No matter, regardless of whether we agree with it or not, and we agree with that lifestyle, if we just choose to be kind and to love. And like watching my sister just in that little moment years and years ago, I was just like, wow, you really are this person all the time. Like even currently, my friends talk about my sister that she is a beacon. Like they literally say that about her. They're like, she walks in a room and it's like there's actual angels that sing. And I'm like, I know, like she really is this person.
Amazing.
She's so kind. So I admire that. I admire her for that. I admire this person that through our childhood, that we didn't have the easiest childhood that a lot of people don't know about. Through all of that she still, instead of choosing to be bitter and choosing a path that could have been destructive,
right?
She did not choose that. She truly has chosen to show love and be this person that is wonderful. I mean, she is an amazing woman and has raised 3 amazing children too. So it's really cool, and has an amazing husband too. I don't want to like leave him out. I truly believe that he
said, what am I, chopped liver?
He's literally a benefactor to that, because he's also just as kind.
For sure.
So it's just so nice to have her in my life. So that is one person that's who I do admire the most.
Shout out, sis.
Yeah, shout out to my sister Dusty. So
that's cool. Yeah, I don't think I have one person that really encompasses all of that. My goodness, I don't know many people that do. But there's parts of people that I do admire, and it helps me be who I am, because you see strength in one person and determination in another person, and just the ability to go on, not just with the clients that I have dealt with, coworkers and friends, that I do know all of their stories and I know their life, and they're still out there grinding and finding happiness and not letting it consume them, and I admire that. We all get into our own head, and sometimes we get down and we're beating ourselves up, or we're thinking about things and we're poor meing ourselves, and then we say, well, but this other person, I shouldn't feel bad because this, I shouldn't feel bad. Well, you're going to feel bad because it's your human experience, and it's all relative to who you are. So, I don't like it when people beat themselves up because, well, it could be worse. Well, yeah, but it doesn't have to be for you to feel a certain way about it. Or, well, I can't be sad because this person had this happen to them. Yes, they did. But also you can be sad about things.
Yeah.
But when I hear stories and have clients especially come in, or hear something about somebody's life that I didn't know, and know them as a person and how positive they are and how they interact with other people and how they've just kept their life moving. I admire those qualities in people, the resilience and strength and hardworkingness and the ability to love even when it's been so bad, and all of those things. So I don't really have a individual or someone that I just can say this person I admire, but I have hundreds of examples of things with people that I admire, things about them, and want to embody and want to take on and be like, you know what, that's a good reminder that you can go through terrible things and still love. You can go through terrible things and still be happy. You can go through terrible things and still work hard and have strength and not give up. And so I think for me, it's an all encompassing, and maybe it's because I've dealt with so many people in my line of work that have just taught me so much about themselves and myself, that it just kind of boils into one thing, I guess. If that makes sense. I don't know.
No, I love that. I love that answer.
On that note, everyone, we are going to stop this episode. We are going to continue this conversation next week. So join us next week.
We will see you guys then.
Thank you for joining us on Hey Therapist. For my co-host, Riley DeWitt, I'm Leslie Ross. You can contact us on the website at heytherapist.com or on our socials at Hey Therapist Social. Hey Therapist is an SEOK radio production and is for your entertainment purposes only. Thank you for joining us. Make good choices.